Hello everyone, I'm just getting ready to come on and start this sip and paint. I have to figure out how to invite Miss Michelle. So let me see if I can figure that one out. Share broadcast. Okay. Search for Where are you at, Michelle? Give me a second, y'all. Where are you? Where are you? Let's see if I can find Michelle on here. Sip and paint. There she is. Share button request. Give me a second, I'm going to request. Share broadcast. Where are you? Let's see where I can find her. There's so many people, it's hard for me to find. Okay, Deerwater, Michelle. Michelle ID. I think this is you. MD. Hi Michelle, if you see me, make a little comment and see if I can figure out how to get you on here. I've got Indeed. First couple minutes is always a trial for me because I got to figure out where everyone is. Let's see, where are you on here? Shit. Got this going over here. Come back over here so we can see what's happening. Hi there, everybody. Enable Q&A. Slow connection. No, I don't want no slow connection. Share request. Okay. Where's my girl at? Will you be sure to ring me so I can join? Okay. I am trying on now. Show AD. Let's see here. Here we go. I'm going to invite you. Done. I should have invited you. See if I can add. I don't want a slow connection. Share broadcast. Your viewers request. Are you seeing it come up for you over there, baby?
What, you're live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to see if I can put it on my starting scene here. Watch live video. Why is it not allowing me?
It says your mom is watching you.
Alright, well, I'm trying to get to where I could see the comments and watch. So we are waiting for Michelle. I gotta figure out how to get her to come on with me. I hope everybody's ready to paint tonight.
Okay, well, I can see how the person can request from you, because I could request from you.
Okay, well, Michelle, if you're on, will you request to join me? So I can get you up and going here. Let me see if I can find out how to get on mine. Watch the video from here. Maybe it doesn't come on until 6 p.m.
What?
Hello. I got Mom. I can't get it to come up on this computer to watch it. Oh my God. That. I guess Tina tried the neck massager.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. How come I can't get this to come on? Will you see if you can get that to work over there for me so maybe I can watch it and see? Should start soon. Alright, I'm going to try and set this up so we can see the canvas. And then, Michelle, if you are on, will you request to join me, please? Hello, everybody. Trying to figure out how to request her, but search. Says no results. So for when I'm trying to look her up. So, you know, you might be on my author Tanya Jean. What was that? Author Tanya Jean or Tanya Sieverding page, and this is Magic Twinkle Books page. So let me see if I can go down to my messenger and let her know. Where's she at? There we go.
No. Just, it's the cat coming out of there. That's it. There, I got you in a mountain or something in the background.
Okay, let me see. She might be on my other Facebook page, so if I have to switch over, I'll switch over. This is the first time I'm trying to do it on the Magic Twinkle book page. So we'll see how we do. Wait a few minutes. Share with your friends. Let me see if I can share. Hopefully it's not frozen on me because it looks frozen over here. Let me double check make sure I'm not on the parks connection. How do I see what I'm on?
Down from the top, and you can see it right next to where it says Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. What does the Wi-Fi thing say? Wi-Fi calling, turn over Wi-Fi. I can't tell. All right, let me try this one more time. You're not frozen on me. Okay, good.
No.
I was worried I'm not on the right internet, but hopefully it's all good now. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Welcome. Can we...
Did it say Steverding?
Yes.
Then you're on the right one.
Okay. All right, Michelle, is there a way for you to request to join me on your end? She's hit the request to join. So let me see if I can find you. There you are. I'm going to accept. Here we go. Add. Couldn't add guest. I guess you're going to have to try one more time because it didn't let me add you. I'm sorry. You have to request again for me, please. We'll get the kinks out here and then we'll start having fun. All right, let's try that. Accept. Ask Michelle to join the broadcast if they accept or join. Oh, okay, I have to add. Get her adding you and see if you come on. So we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. We are going to
Success!
Oh, we have it! There we are! We are going to be interviewing author Michelle. Okay, you're going to have to help me with your name, Michelle.
You're all
I've got.
good. I failed pen name day. It's Michelle Deerwester-Dalrymple.
Okay, there we go. So here is an image. It's probably showing up backwards for you guys, but this is one of her Highlander books. This is the first in a series, Highlander's Dawn. So, and you have several books out. I'm so excited to be able to talk to you tonight.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be here. This is super cool.
We're going to sip and paint, and we're going to talk about your books and what inspires you, and we're going to do little giveaways, and so whoever's on, share with your friends. If it's just a couple of you, that's fine. I'm going to repost this video later. I'm hoping you guys find your next best favorite author. I know that Joanne had your book and she was reading it in anticipation for this night.
Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, so I understand that it's kind of got like a apocalyptic dystopian, losing my table here. The world has an extinct mushroom that's going to save them.
So
So tell us about this story.
So my joke is she's got to go back in time and Johnny Appleseed up some mushrooms is what she has to do. So this book in particular was kind of written in like a fever pitch over Christmas of 2022
so
into 2023.
Yeah, okay. You had that pandemic vibe going on to inspire
It
you.
really, yeah, you can, but you had to be like careful because people weren't like loving that topic. And so we actually made jokes about it in the book itself.
Okay. That's great. So we're going to do the sip and paint, and since you write them Scottish Highlanders, which I really love that trope, we're going to make a Highlander cow. This is kind of the inspiration of the painting, but that's not what any of our cows are going to look like. I don't think, besides this cow, I don't think any of our cows are going to be alike, because this is a sip and paint class, so it's fun art. And I'm excited to get pictures. So if you follow along and paint along, or rewatch this and paint along, send us pictures in the comments of the videos, and or just message me the pictures and I'll post them later. I'm always excited to see what people come up with. Today we're featuring. Hi there. Today we're featuring. Let me see if I can mute this in so it doesn't. Hi there. Today we're featuring. Okay, it's on a loop on my computer, so. Okay. Author, writer, thinker, storyteller, love of faraway times and places, and chocolate, Michelle writes exciting and dramatic, steamy historical romances and dark, flawed fairy tales, which I totally gonna have to look into. She writes as M.D. Dalrymple?
Dalrymple. It's actually ancient Scottish, so right up this alley.
Awesome. Okay, thank you for correcting.
You're all good.
Police, military, and professor romance, and Strawberry Chase, paranormal romance. She also writes with her husband, author Michael Roberts. So you have a few different, you're just an all-genre writer.
Kind of, yeah. Mostly
Yeah.
it relates to romance or romance adjacent, but yeah.
Yes. Right up my alley. So I'm going to start with some instructions on this, and while I do that, Michelle, would you be so kind as to talk about what inspires you to be a historical Scottish Highlander writer?
Okay, I'd love to. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I grew up reading those bodice rippers from the 1980s and 90s way too young, right? Like grandma had the laundry basket hidden in the basement type thing, and so I started just being an avid reader of those, and I like history. So I
Yeah.
like the big historical fiction books. I liked historical movies. I just liked all of that. And the 80s into the 90s was a moment with those very problematic bodice rippers. So I had always loved those. And then when I was in college, I managed to get my hands on a very early copy of Outlander. And I
Oh,
really just,
wow.
yeah, and I really just liked how, oh, I didn't grab a pencil. Oh, I've got one here. I just really liked how, like the vibe of the book, I liked her writing structure and style. It kind
Yeah.
of, it kind of reminded me of my own in a couple way, in a little bit, like things that I like to do. But so I didn't think about writing a book until I had read that. And then I had read some other historical romances, and I was like, these ones aren't as good. And my husband at the time, my husband number one, he was like, you ever thought of writing any yourself? You could probably write one. And so that's what kind of got me started. I was in graduate school, had just finished graduate school. I had done a lot of research on, as a British literature student in a lot of ways. I'd done a lot of like historical study on Scotland. And so it seemed like a good fit and something I was interested in. And I don't know, I, love a man in a kilt. So I was never going to say no to that.
I love Highlander books. And the time travel aspect of it and the romance aspect of it. This is one of my favorite tropes. It's one of the first ones I started reading when I started reading myself. So I just put I centered it from the center and went down a few inches, maybe 3 or 4 inches on this thing, and then over here evened it, and then I just put kind of like a cross so I can make this oval. I want it to kind of have like this flatter head, and then start swooping down to touch over here, and then we're going to swoop it down, do the same thing, make it kind of have an oval, flatter chin. Yeah, so it's just going to be like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of sloppy written on there if you can see it. Can you see it? Or do
Actually,
I
I
need to
think
do it
it's too
better?
close. I think it needs to be,
Okay.
there we go, a little bit further away. Yeah, I can kind of see, just make like a weird oval with it.
Yeah, just kind of connect the squares. I'm going to do it with a green chalk here and see if I can get it to show up a little better for you.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Because I don't want the um, like to drown it out too much.
Yeah, that's probably part of the problem is it's just because of it's video and limited
Yeah,
space. All
we're
right.
gonna
I
make
think
us
that's
a
kind of
little lion cat. I did like the Outlander show. I did not know that it had books. I'd have to read it.
yeah, a lot of people I was unaware did not know that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
discovered Diana Gabaldon in 1992. The original book what had the was it called clapback where it had the main cover but it had the cutout and then you opened it and had a second cover.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it was like a grandfather clock or something. And then the face of the grandfather clock was cut out and it was showed her face through it. And then when you opened it, it was her and like her plaid and the horse behind her. And yeah,
Oh.
1992 is when
Gosh, I was looking at that. We were watching movies from 90s and 80s, and I thought, it just doesn't feel that far away to me. But
right?
that's aging myself, I guess.
I know.
So, and once you have this oval and it starts to curve over here, we're going to mark it right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and come down to this line right here, and I'm just going to make a little horn, a little swoopty horn. Doesn't have to be perfect. Because I have pencil eraser and normally I'm like the type of person that when I'm painting I paint flat. So I'm trying to do the instruction, and we'll do the same thing over here. As soon as it gets to this curve, we'll just make a thing here. So we have these little horns. If you don't like how you've drawn it, just erase or use the chalk.
There you go. It's kind of this one curves in a little bit.
Yeah, just a little curve. Just a little
Yeah, I
curve too.
am not an artist, but my husband and I, we like to do the like Bob Ross painting parties, which is why I have this whole setup.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I have ADD, so like me doing stuff and interviewing kind of helps me with, you know,
Stay
I think
focused a little bit.
yeah,
There you go.
it makes it a little. I feel like it makes it a little lighthearted and fun rather than
Yeah.
intense and nerve wracking. Well, that's my hope, anyways. So we're gonna go over here inside and see where we've marked that little mark in the middle. I'm gonna move over like an inch or two between, like halfway between this mark and the horn, and come down to about right here, which is like you have more of the face up here. I'm gonna make this dot for the nose. So I'm gonna go over here, come down, and I'm gonna gauge myself with this one over here. I'm gonna make a little dot there. Come over here, make a little dot there. Down at the bottom, come over again. Go up, make a little dot. Up, make a little dot. So you got like, this is gonna be the nose of our cow. I don't know if you can see that clearly, but hopefully you guys are able to. So where are you from? I'm in East Texas right now.
I live in California right now. I've bounced around a little bit. I kind of grew up in Chicago and I went to school, college in Michigan, but I did my graduate work out here and we moved out here back in like 2007 and I've been out in Southern California, but I went to school out here for high school and middle school. So my whole family's out here. And so
Did
it's
you?
nice to be around family.
Yeah, that's awesome. I grew up in California, Southern California.
Nice.
I went to Temecula High School.
Oh my gosh, we're just north of Temecula.
There you go. My mom's living in Wildemar.
Okay,
So
that's where my son lives.
right up in the
I just
woods.
bought a house there.
That's awesome. So over here, we're going to connect this dot and this dot, and I'm going to just kind of like make a little swervy arch like that, kind of like, so you guys can see. On the top part. And then on the bottom part, I'm going to make a kind of frowny face right here
Gorgeous.
for the lips. And then I'm going to make a little, like, puzzle divot. So you guys can see. So we're just going to kind of arch it out a little bit and then bring it in and arch it out again and connect. So, like a puzzle piece. Can you see that at all?
I think so. Okay.
Okay.
I see it.
Yeah. This is just marking the spots of the face.
There we
so
go.
That, yeah. Perfect. And then over here, I'm going to come over here and do an ear. A little one anyways, because it's going to be kind of hidden off the page. So I'm just going to do that. And we're going to come up like that. There's one ear. And over here, we're going to go down a little bit on like that. That's another ear. And then over here, I'm going to make a little outline of so I'm going to go from the bottom of the ear and kind of swoop it down and make it go this way. So we have a shape of the body over here. And then over here, I'm going to go from this ear here, and we're going to draw down and maybe do a little hoop like that. So we have the shape of the cap. Now, I have a book signing here in Texas. Did you attend the Muses of Romance last year?
I did. That was my first real big travel. I learned a lot from the travel, but it was fun because there were a bunch of people there, about 2 or 3, who normally went to a historical romance event that we've done a couple times on the West Coast. And so it was really nice to see all of those people. Like, it wasn't like they were like, it was, when you go to a place that's far away, you're worried about like, oh, it's gonna be a lot of strangers or people who are from that area that I don't necessarily know. So yeah, I was there in 2025. I came in full costume. And I think,
I remember you. I was like, I think that's...
Was that the one? Did they have panels there? I'm trying to think. I did panels at an event. I can't remember what it was.
I think we're going to try and do panels this next year, but we did like readings and raffles.
Oh, I remember. I was in Salt Lake City. That's where I'm trying to. I only did a couple events this last year, especially ones that were far from California, because my daughter got married this year. So I had to. It's been a rough year.
I had 2 grandbabies in November. My youngest daughter and my middle son and their spouses had babies, so they're like a week apart. But I've been working on we're doing two events this 2026. So it was nice having you there. And since you're in my neck of the woods, like message me if there's any events near you.
Well, I actually go to quite a few in Arizona. Arizona's been popping off lately. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going to be your next event? Do you have one?
I'm actually doing a small marketplace event with my son, who he does 3D printing. So a lot of my swag. So I make book boxes, like specially curated book boxes that are like individually made for you type thing. And I have him 3D print me all sorts of cool stuff that it's cool because you can only get it with my book box. So, but he does he 3D prints like the dragons and holiday stuff. And so he brings those and sells those. And so he's at the table next to me. And then I do the book boxes. And the last time, though, it kind of got rained out. So they said, we're going to do it December. We'd love to have you both back. So, but my son who's at this event, it's supposed to be on the 14th, and his firstborn, my first grandbaby, is supposed to be born on December
Oh,
16th. So he doesn't know if he'll make it.
oh, wow.
So I'm right there with you. Super
Well,
excited about the babies.
oh, I love them grandbabies. So I just took a little teal, a little light green, and some white, and mixed it around until I came up with a color that I like. Just for the background, you guys can make whatever color you want this cow. But this is what I'm working with. So I'm just going to fill in with real light strokes because this is so abstract that if you hold the paintbrush further back, you can kind of get those real light strokes real easy. And I'm just going to fill in the parts that aren't the cow.
That aren't cow. Okay.
Yeah, for just the background.
I see all my paints open. So we had a bunch of paints from our last Bob Ross party, but we didn't use all of the paints. So a bunch of them aren't even open. So here I am trying to figure out how to open these paints. There you go.
It's okay. We're not rushing it. We're just going to have fun with it. I had a question though.
Yeah.
You write historical Scottish romance. What inspired you to love the Scotland and write Highlander stories? Are you like, is it descended from it, or was it just the Highlander books that you read?
It is a little bit of family. We do have family that, like, if you go way back in time, we do have family back there.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. And my first husband, that's where I got the name Dalrymple from. He was a Dalrymple. So
Okay.
that's where I kind of started getting a lot of the interest. I tried to be like check out like his family history and everything. So that's where a lot of it got started, was my
Okay. So he
the
was a big
family.
inspiration.
Pardon?
Your first husband was an inspiration.
A bit, yeah, he was. And so so it helped that he had the Scottish last name, and so we did research on that. And yeah, so it was really kind of nice to be able to do that, and then have like an easy connection and kind of try to figure out where some of my family's from and all that. So but I've always had, like, even when I was reading the Bodice Slippers, like, I've always been a fan of just of the Highlanders. So it predates even my first husband. So
Yeah. They have like a Highlander event in your Temple, Texas, or maybe in Temple, Texas. And that was kind of cool to go there, see everybody in their kilts and
right.
bagpipes and playing the Highlander games.
Well, I have yet. I'm hoping maybe next year, since this year was kind of a bit of a wash between like my daughter's wedding and everything. I'm hoping this coming year there's a big event every year. I think it's in October down in San Diego, and they have the Highland Games. And so I'm
Do they?
hoping maybe one of these times to get down there.
Yeah, that would be fun and inspiring.
I think so.
Try to set up a booth, or
I don't know if I would set up a booth the first year. I'd probably just want to go and be able to like be a voyeur the first year,
yeah,
and just
just
go
have
and
fun.
watch. Yeah, I think that's what I would like to do the first year.
Well, I filled in my little background area there. So I'm going to wash my brush off and dry it off. Take a sip. So this is my little fantasy book tumbler cup.
Oh, what is it? Hold it up again. I missed it.
It says fantasy.
Oh, cute. I love it.
I made it. Tried to make it look
Is that
young.
one from the shop?
I don't know if I have it in my Etsy shop. I made this one. I was aiming for Galaxy because I have a high fantasy romance.
Yeah.
That with God portals, and they go to different universes and stuff. So that
super
was
cool.
Yeah.
But you can see it. You can get that vibe with the cup. I can definitely see it. So what are some other stuff that's in because I saw the link for the Magic Twinkle like shopping stuff. What are some other things you have in there?
I have T-shirts. I have bookish swag. I have my PR boxes. You can get my signed copy. I have a little treasure box of bookish themed things that I wanted to offer to give away.
Oh,
This is
cool.
a mystery cauldron. It's got bookish themed crystals and jewelry and stuff in here.
Cool.
And I got a little quill pen. I made some of these coffee cups.
Oh, I love those.
The glass ones, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so hesitant. My daughter got me one. They're not mocked up or anything. It's just the glass. But man, I'm kind of nervous to
Yeah.
use it. I'm always afraid
I
I'm
got
gonna.
some keychains.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like the keychains.
So we got some things. Some
I
of
love
the
that.
spicier bookmarks. Reading really makes me feel at peace. This is a cauldron. Spread those pages, which I like because I
Yeah.
write the spicy stuff.
Yeah, right?
The good girl paddle, of course.
Oh, I love that.
This is another good girl paddle. So we'll be giving some of this stuff away, and I think the other one says, I love this one. It says, "Make me." They're paddle bookmarks.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. All right. So I think I'm going to start with getting some black and outlining black and browns and outline the horns first. We'll just work our way down this guy. So what is, how many books do you have in the Highlander series?
This series for Highlanders Dawn, right now I have 3. They were actually picked up by a publisher, and so they were published through Spiteful Books, but the company had a little bit of upheaval and a couple things changed hands, and so they were not doing as much with the books as they would have liked. And right after they had started to kind of pay me for the 3rd book, things just weren't going, and I was like, let me get these rights back. And so they were super cool about it. And so I re-released Highlanders Dawn, and I released Highlanders Morn, which is book 3. Highlanders Awakening is the 2nd book in the series, but that one I get the rights back on January 30th. So that one I'll be re-releasing as well with the matching cover and everything. So I'm slowly getting things going with that. And then I'm working on wow, this is just a drippy brush. I'm working on the 4th book. So the first 3 books in the series deal with Emily, who becomes her grandmother, Aelith, in the book, kind of a Freaky Friday sort of Highlander body swap thing, travel through time version.
Yeah.
And she and so what happens is she's got 3 other friends, and she's like talking to them before she does this thing to say, like, hey, if you could do something, and it might be kind of weird, to kind of save everyone is getting sick, would you do it? And they kind of try to give her different advice. So the first 3 books, Highlanders Dawn, Highlanders Awakening, and Highlanders Morn, is about Emily, who becomes Aelith, and her adventure. And then I'm writing the 2nd trilogy right now, which is about her best friend Angelina.
Okay. So Angelina gets to go back in time too, or is that the best friend she makes over there?
Eventually, her whole friend group goes back in time. They all, and I do it because I lean into a little bit of my own personal history. So I don't have a whole lot of information about them. My aunt recently tried to give me a whole bunch of stuff, but we just don't have a whole lot of genealogy records. But I found out that my great grandfather, whose name is literally Roman Sobecki, he was part Romani, Polish Romani. And I knew nothing about that heritage or anything else. So I've been trying to like research it and lean into it, learn more about my grandmother. Like they didn't speak English at all in the house or when they came here, and it was a whole thing. So I'm trying to learn more about that. And so as a result, a Romani character plays a big role in the Highlander's Dawn. This was my first book where I really tried to lean into some of my
Your
heritage that I
family?
was absent from.
Oh, I hope it's not getting too blurry on you guys.
No, we can still see it pretty good. I can at
Okay,
least. I don't know about anybody else. I'm speaking for everybody here. Hope you don't mind.
no, that's okay. So I'm going to start down here with black and just kind of swoop it up the horn on the bottom. Then I'm going to rinse that out and dry that out. Now I'm going to mix the black with some of this brown. It's going to blend. So we can kind of give it a little bit of a shadow. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's abstract, so.
Blacks and browns there.
So what gave you the idea about the mushroom?
Well, actually, it's kind of funny. A lot of this was my husband's idea for this book. I told him what my ideas were, that I wanted to write this book. I had like an idea of a book I wanted to write, and so he immediately kind of jumped on it and started like looking up information for me. He's the one who came up with the location and the kind of historical idea for like how like where they were going to go and what was the kind of big main objective they were going to try to achieve, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of that came from him. And then my husband, because he wrote the book with me, he ended up writing like the fight scenes. His books are really well known for his fight scenes. He writes the best like fight scenes and gets a lot of accolades for it. And I do that anyway. Like I'll already be like, hey honey, and then what I'll do is I'll tell them how I need it to start and how I need it to end. It needs to start here. And then they need to be able to say this thing at the end. You need to write everything in between. And so that's what he'll do, is he'll write everything in between. So yeah.
I'm going to try to put my husband to work.
I
wish he could get into the book with me.
He's got a good written voice, and it seems to work very well for us. So we've been doing kind of a lot of that.
That's awesome. I like that you have that partnership. That's so cool.
Yeah, well, what we did is about 2 years ago, we actually then took a lot of our book writing stuff and we made our own publishing company, because he's got books and I got books, and we're like, we should have like a banner for all of this. And so we kind of opened our own publishing house, and we do Sword and Thistle Publishing.
Oh, that's great. So where can people find this? Do you have a website or?
So yeah, if you go to swordandthistle.org, that's our primary website. You can find a link to Michelle. I think it's Michelle Deerwester-Dalrymple. It's the /, but my husband's got his website there, and I've got mine. But you can also find me on all the social media, Michelle Deerwester author. I have a link tree on my Facebook. This is like my more personal account. I signed up and connected with you as like my more personal account, but I do have a page because I don't have a professional profile. You know how Facebook is with that.
Yeah. So, we're always busy writing. It's hard to keep up with the marketing side of it.
It really is. This year was kind of rough because, like I said, my daughter got married, and my husband and I we didn't write. I didn't write. I didn't edit. We didn't really do anything. We barely marketed our books. Normally I'm on all the social medias, and I'm doing like, I try to do lives, and I'm trying to do everything. And man, there was nothing this year. It was crickets this year for us. So now that that's over and we're just kind of waiting for the grandbabies, we're kind of just playing, that game where we're like, okay, let's get this going. Let's kind of restart. So this year's like a big restart for us, if you will. We have to kickstart
I totally
everything.
understand that. We had 2 weddings last year and then 2 babies this year.
So you're like 1 year ahead of me. Like that's exactly it. Like you're exactly 1 year ahead of me.
Right? I'm going to fill in this nose here with some ink. And we can add more color to it here in a little bit.
There we go. All right. Oh, and we're doing the ears too. All right. Let's see the ears a little lighter. I think I want a lighter cow.
Yeah.
I want to slightly
We're
lighter.
going to add a bunch of different colors to it. So this is just kind of giving us a, what we're doing is we're painting on the hot spots, I like to say. So we got the concept of it.
Yeah, the main ideas of our cow.
Yeah, we got a concept of a cow.
The concept of a cow.
Pretty much. So over here at the bottom of the nose, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of make a little goatee thing here happening, so I can kind of watch which way I want my fur to the flow of the fur. And over here, in this little curve area right here at this corner, I'm gonna kind of mark out the face here a little bit, so to give me some dimension in this little face. So we're just gonna kind of make it like that.
Now it's here.
Alright, I'm going to come down here. I've got this little area here, so I want to figure out which way I would like my hair to flow. So I'm going to kind of go like that. Mark that in for me. That way gives me some direction. I'm going to take one of my little pointer ones. Just like this one right here. Add some black to it so I can highlight. Some of the, and I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it out to where. See, it's hard for me because the split screen doesn't show my whole canvas. I'm trying to like.
No, that's okay. You're all good.
Okay, so just hold it at the tip so you can have more abstract, easy flow. And I'm going to just make a couple highlights here. So.
Oh shoot! That's what we're doing now.
And I'm gonna add a little nose thing here, nostril.
There you go. There's a pink nose.
Yeah, just a cute little nose.
Okay, get a little bit of fur going. All right, let's check out this guy's fur. That white.
Just gonna highlight some. Put a little black out over here just to kind of mark out where the eye would be, but I'm gonna end up putting some brush strokes. So in the direction of the way I want my hair to go, I'm gonna mark that little area so we have some depth. So mark a little bit here. Going with some browns.
He's looking kind of cowish.
Yeah, kind of cowish.
Looking cowish.
So I'm going to add some magenta, some browns, and maybe even different colors. I'll just pop in a blue here just to like be playful with it. Some darker colors. And then we'll highlight with lighter colors after we fill it in a little bit. This is burnt umber. And there's this kind of tan thing here. So I have a sloppy little paint palette here, but I got like magenta, burnt umber, like a mustard orange, and blue, and browns. So you can do this with a slightly bigger brush if you want to, or you can stick with the smaller. I'm going to go ahead and just grab one of the bigger ones. Yeah, you don't have to use the same colors as me. It's just...
Pick some of the same ones here. Might as well.
Yeah. I'm going to have to stand up and do this because I just want the hair to kind of flow. I've got like that bigger brush. I'm going to add some more black down here. Yeah, I'm starting with that.
Here.
So I'm going to just even kind of start making a little bit of... Just a little bit. I'm going to put this little base down. Put some blue in there. You can just clean your brush off as needed. But it's just a lot of little brush strokes. Sorry, my dogs heard something.
You're all good.
They're I have my little herd of toy poodles that go everywhere with me.
Up and go potty. Come on. Move, come on. Come on. Go potty this way. Come on. Come on. Duchess. Come on.
So you have a market event. That's going to be your next one.
And then I'm going to... Oh, I'm sorry?
Where can people buy your books? Is it on all the bookstore stuff?
Yeah, so Highlander's Dawn is available kind of everywhere books are sold. So that's kind of nice there. We don't have it on audio yet. We're still kind of working on getting audio up for some of them. But they are available on, the ebook and hardcover and paperback. So we're getting all of that going.
Awesome. Do you have where they can buy your PR boxes or your signed copies?
Yeah, so that's available on, you can get it a couple places. I have it on Etsy. I also have it on my TikTok shop, and it's available through the website as well. So you can get it in a couple different places.
Okay. That's awesome. So sometimes I wrap a blind date with the books to promote other authors that I've met or gone to my signings or,
Yeah.
to give away. And for me, it's a giveaway because I have the
Yeah.
reader promise to like, follow, and leave a review for the author. And it's just kind of my way of paying it forward, hoping that, readers can find new favorite authors,
Yeah.
You can't never have too many. So do you do that? Do you do that? Do you wrap your books up as blind date with the books at all?
I have done that before. It's available on a couple of my it's an option for some of my book sales where you can get the blind date with a book. Yeah, I do try to do that. Just as another little option. I also have where if you go to my website, you go to my Etsy or you go to my TikTok, you can get the entire trilogy. Right now, I only have it in hardcover because I'm waiting until I get all the rights back um, from my other book to do that. But I'm going to be doing the paperback. I'm out of paperback, so I can't do it anymore. But I do have hardcover book boxes where you can get the whole book box and you get 3 signed copies. You get some of the swag and kind of all that good stuff and it's special like bookish swag that's made just for the book box. So it's really kind of cool.
I like that. I like making my books boxes feel like an experience when you're opening it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of my love languages.
Pardon?
So, anytime I can turn it into something fun,
Exactly. I agree 100%. Because that's what a lot of people are looking for. Like for a while it was all the get your ebooks and through Kindle, but now people are like wanting to do more of the where they get there like it's an event, to get the book. So I also I just started doing, and I have I got a little bit of craftiness. I have a craft printer. So I've actually done where I make my own end papers. So I just recently on one of my other books did that where we had the end papers as part of the book with the special like hardcover version. So that's kind of a new one. Yeah, that's a new thing I just kind of started doing. So I'm hoping to be able to do that and maybe even release a special edition of my Highlander's Dawn book where it's where that has like the end papers and I also put interior vellums. So I have these really pretty vellums that I use. Yeah, so I have these vellums that I put in my hardcover boxes. So you get real pretty kind of bookish imagery in the box as well. It's aligned with the book. So I do that. And then I do a lot of mushroom themed and branded things. So there's usually a lot of mushroom stuff in the book box. I just got in contact with someone who does like a variation of the sprayed edge. And so that's like my next big thing is to try to look and see how I can start incorporating that. Oh, puppies are not happy. They are so excited. They just came in.
my grandson just came out of the bedroom. There's a kid running around.
He's being overrun. They're just excited.
I cannot see my bag.
Okay, I'll get it for you right now. I'm painting class.
Okay.
Ask Grandpa. Go find Papa Jim Jim. He's got you. So I'm just trying to feather in this little Highlander's hair. So, like, our little drawing was just to,
Like a vibe.
yeah, it was just to kind of keep track of where we're supposed to be going. But I think it's turning out. Hopefully you guys can see it okay. We'll slowly patch in all the little spots.
Oh, this is super cute, though.
Yeah, you like it?
It is. It turned out super cute.
Yeah, it's supposed to be just this little fun thing.
I'm a big fan of Highland cows. My husband bought me a stuffed animal one for Christmas last year. I named him Connor McLeod from the Highlander, the original old school Highlander movie with Sean Connery.
Yeah. Yeah, my husband got me a Highlander cow warmie.
Oh, cute.
I was like, it's cute.
Oh my goodness, that's super cute.
Yay! We're getting there.
I'm hanging this up in my office.
Good. I like that. It's nice because it's abstract, so it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, like if you miss something or it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world, you know?
Yeah, perfect. I'm just trying to put the darker brush strokes in so I can highlight here a little bit. That's what we want. It's just kind of easy to follow the direction of the airflow when you've drawn it on there.
Yeah.
Little goatee right here. Let's see what this is. Yeah, it can be any color you want, but I think it's looking pretty good the way we're doing it.
I think so too. This was fun. Something different. Oh, they're cute. My husband and I were trying to plan a trip for the end of next year, maybe do like a Christmas time, like right after we do Christmas at home, and do like a Christmas in Scotland.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, do like an Edinburgh for Christmas type of event. And so that's what we're kind of looking at doing. And he's really excited, and I'm looking forward to the different we're looking at all the holiday stuff that they have going on right now, you know?
Yeah. My mom does a lot of ancestry, so we can track our heritage back to the Boland sisters.
That is super cool.
And one of the guys, when he left Europe, he went and got the Kilkenny castles.
Yeah.
And I think it's in Ireland. So
I think so. I think that is.
Always wanted to go visit it. It's because it used to be like I don't know why he ran from Europe, but he went to Ireland and was living in the Kilkenny castle.
That's super cool.
So I was like, oh, if I ever travel, I'd like to try and visit stuff like that, because if she hadn't done that ancestry, I never would have known.
Right? A couple years ago, my husband did the real cool thing where he went and got my where you buys you that plot of land in Scotland for.
Oh, so you get like a
that
star
little. Yeah. So I am actually Lady Michelle Deerwester-Dalrymple.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's, oh, that turned out cute.
Yeah, he came out here and all the dogs started barking.
Well, I
They
told him
got
to get his
way too
clothes out of
excited.
his
Well, his
bag.
bag's buried. So.
Oh, is it? Okay. Because he was going to go take a shower. All right, here comes his bag.
My grandson, he's 15, but he's special needs. So
Yeah.
my oldest daughter, it's her birthday on the 25th, and she took a little road trip to celebrate. She likes the spooky dooky stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
she went to a town with some haunted cabins or something.
Oh, super cool.
So. Alright, so I think I have this kind of lined out how I want, and then I'm going to come in with some highlights.
All right. So this is what I've got. He's got a fur in front of his nose.
Oh, he's looking so cute. I gotta get this
He
back
actually
down
looks
so
like a
that you can-
cow. I'm shocked.
Yeah!
I did
See?
not expect him to look like a cow when I was there.
It's amazing how that works.
I know, right? I'm not an artist this way. Like, I can craft things up. I'm a crafty kind of person. Like, we did
Yeah.
all the flowers for like my daughter's wedding, and we built a giant storybook. It was Beauty and the Beast meets Lord of the Rings. And
Oh,
so she had like
wow.
a giant walkthrough storybook, and like we did like all of that, right? Like we did all of that.
Really awesome.
But it was A, too much, and B, it was like very crafty. So I was able to kind of craft it all. Ooh, that's the wrong one. I was able to craft it all up, but I'm not like an artist.
I'm working too.
Go and get your shower.
But, you know, anytime I have an excuse to be creative, I
That is
try to.
super cool. That is super cool.
Last time you're sweating out here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I think interviewing authors this way is just kind of neat.
Kind of leans into that in a very neat way.
Yeah.
I've done a couple paint and sips, and I'm okay with like the abstract. Like with me, it's like, oh, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I just want it to look like this. I have a friend who I do paint and sips with every once in a while, but she's a perfectionist and she's an artist. So a lot of times it's like, man, she's like, this is moving too fast. I need more time. I'm like, oh my gosh, Dawn, it doesn't have to be perfect, honey.
Sounds like somebody else I know.
You know, I have a niece like that. I tried to do
Oh, did you
My
just
wife
call it
does
out?
that. She always says nothing she does is good.
I didn't say nothing was good. I said it didn't turn out the way I wanted it
Perfect.
to.
You'll say I don't like it, and everybody else says it's great.
He's calling you out.
Yeah, he's trying to.
Yeah,
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, I'm a dyslexic author, and I honestly couldn't read fluently until I was over 25 years old.
Really? That's interesting.
So it was my teenage daughters wanting me to read the young adult fantasy books with them.
Yeah.
You know, the classic Twilight, Beautiful Creatures and things. And I was like, oh gosh, I hated it. I'm going to put a little highlight of white on his mouth, just to kind of...
Okay, so let's see, what are we doing here? We're outlining his nose a little bit, so let me get this black going.
Bit on the mouth. Make the nose a little bit bigger. I'm just kind of filling in the paint. It's just abstract, but
Wait,
I wanted to add some color. Some little highlighted colors. So it's filling in the areas that we had white on the canvas with hair strokes, giving it some depth. And at this point, point, it is what it is, and if you just see spots that you want to do some shadow working or highlight a little bit. Highlight or make it darker. There we go. Look at that. Now we can get into the kilted vibe and dig into one of your Highlander romance books and go back in time, see the world.
Meet your men in kilts and their plaid and their giant swords and their bear chests.
Yeah. Do you have dragons in your books?
I do not have dragons, but I do have fairies. So Highlander's Dawn leans very heavily. The first book is kind of light. It gets a little bit more with each book, and by the time you get to the third one, you learn like what's going on with why she was able to travel back through time. And it does lean into the fairy realm quite considerably. She's having these dreams. The Romani witch is kind of part of her journey, and she's told to kind of keep a lookout for like her dreams and what this Romani witch is trying to do. And you find out, and even her husband, who she has to marry back in the way back time, 900 AD, we learned that she thinks she's like a changeling. Like that's how he compares it. So it makes but more of the kind of fae aspect really comes through in as you get more into the series.
Okay. I love it. I love stories. I love fantasy.
Yeah, I haven't tried dragons yet. I'm not quite there, but I'm thinking I am kind of fleshing out some ideas to add to my my fairy tale retellings. I do because I call them the before series, and they deal with like the villains and monsters. I also do mythology and a whole bunch of things. So I'm kind of trying to come up with like new storylines and new ideas for the other books in those series. And so one of the ones I'm looking at is different types of monsters, so I can start leaning into that with the book series a little bit. So I'm working on that.
Awesome.
But this one deals more with the ideas of witches and fairies and the fairy realm and the like. And like I said, the first book just starts to lean into it a little bit. By the time you get into the end of this, the third book, though, you're really starting to see like what's going on with it. It really starts to kind of explain it and get a deeper understanding of why certain things were going on the way they were.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm in the process of, like I said, writing the fourth book, but I'm also writing a little novella to go with it because some people were like, "Oh, I'd like to know about the grandmother figure who had to kind of swap places with her." And
did she go to the future?
yeah, she comes into like our contemporary time, so that's where I'm stopping. I think that's my stopping point. All right. So what we're doing is she's going to have like a contemporary storyline, and that's going to be part of the series. But it's just going to be like a little novella side story. I don't know that it's going to be a full book, so we're going to try to see what happens with that. But a lot of people have asked for the grandmother story when she kind of comes into the future, and I was like, okay, maybe we'll do that as well.
I've got several books in the works right now, and I'm like, okay. Every time I get an idea, I'm like, calm down.
I know. It reminds me of, do you remember the movie Up with the dog in the cone and he goes squirrel?
Yeah.
You know, that's what I feel like a lot. I had a dream several months ago, and an entire book, actually like a whole freaking series. I dreamt the whole thing. I had the entire book series like ready to go. But it was very dystopian, right? It was very
Yeah.
dystopian. And I don't really do anything dystopian. And I'm like, okay, I can't, like, I need to focus on something else. I can't do dystopian. That just doesn't match anything else I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it occurred to me, like, one of my books that I'm thinking about for my Before series is very, it's gonna be a straight up fairy book. It's kind of like a Neverland sort of book.
Yeah.
And so I haven't done a whole lot with that yet. And I was like, ooh, I can make this story happen for this book. So I have like an idea of what I could be able to do with it.
That inspired a book.
Pardon?
I have a dream that inspired a book.
I love that.
It's going to be a dystopian. I'm halfway, like a quarter way done writing it, but then I got to do all the revision and editing and all that stuff that goes with it. It's because my nieces and my grandchildren, I have a granddaughter that loves to read. She's like, I want to read your books, and I'm like, well, you can't really read them.
You should be reading those.
Yeah, now I need to write something appropriate for them, you know. And young is one of my favorite genres too, because it was some of the first books that I started reading.
Yeah.
So mine's a dystopian, portal fantasy sci-fi thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had a dream about SpaceX and then trying to build a planetary defense system, and
that's quite the complicated.
And they needed to shoot down that Black Knight satellite, or the Dark Knight satellite. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's that conspiracy thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's up there. So I thought they try to shoot it down, and it creates this rift in time and space, and it just brings aliens to Earth, and
of course it does.
Spinning off of its axis, and so there's like all this dystopian trying to find your way back home. Are the aliens bad or good? You know.
Yeah.
So it's called the Misfit. Wait, Chronicles of the Zenobian Misfits.
Oh, there you go.
My daughter named it Zenobi. Zenobian.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I think it's so awesome where like ideas come from. Like I just have, but it's so hard because as someone who also has ADHD, like the minute you get the idea, you're like, oh, I'll do this. And you're like, no, calm down. You're not doing that.
I'm doing it. I promise them. It's just, I got to get my third book out because I'm behind on that. So that's in with the editors.
I'm a little jealous you even said that because my daughter's wedding, and I'm also a college professor, and I just taught way too much this year. And I overloaded classes without really thinking about it. And there we go. I think my little Highland 2 is something. You're pretty blue in yours, man. I don't know how you do that.
I just wanted to add color. Sometimes I do too much.
But it does give good depth, though. It gives good shadow. I feel like I don't have shadow on mine. But because of my daughter's wedding this year and my overload of classes, and we had a whole bunch of things that were just wildly problematic this year. So because of that, we ended up not really, between my husband and I, we really didn't write anything. We did not really write anything this year. And so both of us are kind of feeling that where we're like, man, we are so behind. Like I didn't write, I didn't edit, we didn't really do much of anything with the books. So this upcoming year, like over Christmas, we've already got some plans to sit down together, and we're just going to kind of like go big and go home. We're going to do some major like writing.
Take a writing retreat for the two of you.
That's kind of what we're looking at doing. We're looking at doing like a big writing retreat where we just take we take like a weekend or a midweek, and we go to wherever we want to go and get like a hotel nearby or something and just kind of run away.
Yeah. Yep, that sounds dreamy to me.
Right?
We definitely had a lot going on too.
It's hard. It's hard to balance it all, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, it's nice to connect with authors, you know, like we're doing now, and talking about our stories so that, you know, people can
meet you and get to know you, and
it's fun. And you need a book team.
You really do. You need to have people who are like in your corner, people who get what you're, you know, kind of picking up what you're laying down, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think I've got to a point where, you know, this Highlander cow is Highland. It is what it is.
There we go. Yours looks like I need to get mine to go over the nose a little bit more. I like how you did that. Yours kind of goes, it's like going over the nose a little bit more.
It's a little hairstyle. There we go. What do you think?
There we go. I think that works. There we go. I like that. All right. There we go. Super cute. Super cute. We have cute cows.
We've got cute ones. We got cute ones. We got the romance vibe going on. So, is there anybody in the chat that would like to ask Michelle any questions about her Highlander book? So that I didn't answer. Let's see if I got a couple more questions myself. All right. Hopefully you guys can do this okay.
It was Patricia. She doesn't back down. Okay, now I can see the comments. Oh my gosh. Michael, my husband's on here. Have you ever been to Scotland? Not yet. I'm hoping to go with my husband next Christmas. Have you ever thought writing with like Squid Games but based in the Highlanders? You might get something like that in one of the upcoming series or one of the trilogies for Highlanders Dawn. Dorland Mountain Retreat in Temecula. We will have to check that out, Joanne, because we're definitely looking for some place where we can just go and veg, because we try to do that. Like we did take a big trip in March to Hawaii. It was like a bucket list trip, but then it was like new baby, wedding, work, like crazy. So I definitely want to try to find something where we can just go and relax and unwind. And also we can do like writing sprints, you know, because that's how Highlanders Dawn got written. Like we would sit in bed and he would work on his book.
They help you stay accountable.
They really do. I was doing writing sprints with people online where they would just set the timer and we would write together. We would write together and then check in with what we had done. And then my husband and I started doing that where we would write about like we'd sit together in bed and we would just write like as much as we could, as quick as we could, and we would do that, and then we would take breaks. Okay, what did you write? What did I write? And then we'd also do where I'm like, hey, you know, this is what I need for that thing. So he would be writing one part of the book, I would be writing the other part of the book, and we had that book written, the rough draft of it written in 10 days. It's like a 90,000 word book.
It's amazing how you can, you know, I think we used to feed off of each other's energy. Moms would come together and clean house in one house and then go to the other one and clean house. And, you know, like it was a thing that we fed off. Now everybody's
separate,
attached online. So it's kind of hard to get that energy.
It's a little different.
Doing the writing sprints helps you feel accountable to show up to support the other author, and therefore it motivates you to stay on task and
And
write.
you can also see like what other authors are doing to keep themselves motivated or to work on certain projects. So I think that's a really good part as well. So but I definitely liked doing that. And so I told my husband, I said, I have technically 3 books that I'm behind on. I have one that I just need to finish editing. I'm doing like a short serial, like Kindle Unlimited, you know, just with one of my military romance sets. But
So you have so many different tropes.
so yeah, I don't stay in my lane very well.
Me neither, but it's
So
all good.
yeah, I think it is too. And I think like writing other types of books, like in different genres, helps you figure out like different ways you can apply things, you do things in your primary genre. But I was getting burnt out, and my husband's like, you need to focus because you're trying to do everything. And he goes, it's just, you know, you're getting so burnt out. He goes, so pick like your 2 or 3 series. He goes, and try to keep them in the same genre if you can. He goes, but try to pick your 2 or 3 series that you're going to focus on. And I'm like, well, I'm going to focus on my Highlanders. But I started leaning more into the romantasy. So Highlander's Dawn is kind of romantasy-esque. My fairy tale villains are romantasy. Because I do really like kind of like light, simple fantasy systems. I don't do the big, heavy, dark stuff. So I'm definitely not like romantic fantasy or anything like that. You know, it's definitely not that. So I like how romantasy is like lighter in some ways.
So speaking of that, how do you balance emotional depth with steamy scenes? Do you get very, very steamy, or how
In
does it go?
Highlanders, I like that question because that's something I actually came up with my when Spiteful was editing this was like a conversation we had because in Highlander's Dawn, she goes back in time and she knows that the person whose body she's taking over is engaged to somebody, like they're betrothed, because she eventually ends up. It was like her, you know, 9 times back great grandma. So she knows that grandma's got to get married, have kids. You know, that's how she ended up there. And so, so she knows that she's going to have to like marry this guy. So she starts off thinking of it in terms of like one night stands. That is literally like how she's looking at this relationship with this guy. And it just kind of helps that he's very attractive. But
No.
he is actually the very, very like romantic. And he's the one who's like, no, I want more. I want you to. And he's the romantic one, not so much her, you know? And so that actually becomes a big, big issue later on because William is probably, I mean,
Sure,
he
buddy.
just takes the idea of romance to the next level. Like he is next level romantic.
I don't know if the
And
controller is on.
that's something she has to deal with because she doesn't necessarily love him, but he still thinks she's the original Aelith and he is obsessed. Like everything he does is for her. And my joke is that he makes Jamie from Outlander look like trash. Like that's how. And so that idea of that emotional passion play between the 2 of them is like an actual like major like aspect of their story. So I find that to be very fun. Most readers find my books, even my ones that aren't steamy. I will point out that in my books, for the most part, the steamy scenes usually serve a purpose. They're usually there because of the relationship or they're engaged or married or, you know, so that is something that I mean, there are some books where I have some gratuitousness, you know, it's just, you know, the DTF type thing. But for the most part, especially because they're historicals, there is like the idea of it's there for a specific reason. But the passion, like I had someone for one of my other books tell me, it was for my book Before the Red Cloak, which is a villain fairy tale retelling of the of Red Riding Hood, and a couple of but it's low steam. So my fairy tales are not steamy. They're low steam. So they're YA appropriate. I tell everyone they have fantasy violence, but there's not even closed door. There's no suggestion of anything. There's like hand holding, kissing, hugging, you know, that kind of stuff. And I think it's hilarious how parents of younger people are more concerned with like the steamy romance than the actual violence in the books. But I was like, okay then. But but in Before the Red Cloak, there's a relationship that is like pivotal to the story. And it's one of my only books where like it comes off hard and strong with that relationship. And I had people telling me that it was the most passionate book they ever read. And I'm like, but it's not steamy. Like, what do you mean it's the most passionate? Like, there's no steam in it whatsoever. But it was just the kind of depth of their relationship. So a lot of people loved
I
it
would have to switch it to
kind of for
hard.
that.
Well, I have more plot than steam, but I have very vivid spice.
There you go. There you go.
So it is not for kids,
Oh, yeah.
except for the young adult one that I'm going to write. But it's not like erotica. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I would say that the scenes are pretty erotic-ish.
okay.
But it's more plot than it is.
Yeah, that's
There's
kind of how I do
there's
it.
like maybe 2 or 3 scenes throughout the whole book, so it's not heavy.
Mine tend to be, for a book the length of Highlander's Dawn, I think there's 3 to 4. Like there's 3 that are like a hardcore getting busy, and then 1 or 2 where it's leading to that, or it's the adjacent, the spicy adjacent stuff. But like I used to say my books are probably about a 4 chili pepper, like a 4 level 4 spice. Since dark romance came out, like if we do 5 as erotica, right? If we do 5 as erotica or super, super steamy, right? With a lot of gratuitous steam. I was like, mine's probably about 4. I got a lot of steam. I got a lot, but since dark romance came on the board, I'm like, I'm probably about a 3.5 now.
Yeah, I have a novella that's a little bit of it's a spinoff from my Harmony series. It's more dark.
Yeah.
It's more dark, core-ish, because of the violence and the monsters. And,
It's interesting you should say that, because that's what I tell people with my fairy tale villains. I'm like, if you want to try like a darker romance, but you're not ready for maybe the more like darker problematic aspects with regards to like the sexual enterprise, my fairy tales are a good one because you get all the dark. It just doesn't have the spice. It's a good stepping stone if you want to like enter that genre, but not get like slapped in the face with it,
Yeah. I'm going to come on closer now that I'm done with the painting and see, so I can see these comments.
Oh yeah.
Joanne says, I love how do you say that name? Iolith is portrayed as a strong woman. Aelith, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me.
No, you're good. What it's neat about her is that she was like a strong, willful person to begin with. And Emily is actually the martial artist. She's an only child. So she's very kind of willful and, kind of fights her own battles type of girl. And she was worried that when she went back in time, like it's going to be obvious that she's not her grandmother. But her grandmother wasn't one who listened to the rules and was very willful and everything. She's like, oh, this will work out easier than I thought. Like maybe there's some DNA component to this.
Genetic,
yeah. So I thought that was fun. I had a blast writing Aelith. She was, because I write stronger women, and I'm really tall. I'm almost 6 foot tall. So I tend to write tall girl romances for the most part. So if you're looking for body positivity, you get it in the tall girls with me. And then I write a lot of ADHD, I'm self-insert. I can't get away from that. But I do write a lot of tall girls. Aelith is not necessarily a tall girl, but to me, like what I see is a not tall girl. Other people are like, oh, that's a tall girl. Like in my head, Aelith is 5'6" to 5'7". And other people are like, yeah, but that's tall. I'm like, okay, I just don't see it. But that's about how tall she is. But so a lot of people are like, oh, but I do that. I write these taller, really strong, willful characters. And I'm like, man, that's just way too much. Like, but my joke is that's how I move in the world. So that's how I understand it. Right. I don't know what it's like to be a petite person. Like,
oh, right.
Pardon?
You write what you know.
Right. And it's just, that's how so I don't even, but the problem is I don't even think about it. Like I have to consciously, I wrote one book, it's in a different series of mine. And one of the later books in this series will have a girl who's much more petite. She's very much a Pollyanna kind of girl. But I had a book where I had to like every time I sat down to write or do something, like I had to physically tell myself, you have to remember she's barely 5 foot tall. Like, so she can't be reaching for, she's got to stand on the stool. Like I had to really, like that was a challenge for me. So for Aelith, in my head, she's not like super tall. She's a powerful, but she's not super tall. But the next trilogy, her friend Angelina is. Her friend Angelina is a giant, and that will be a big part of the book. But I do like to write my like ferocious heroines. That's kind of like my stock in trade. Like the
Strong
really,
female.
yeah. I just again, it's like how I move in the world. Now I do write other heroines. They're not all that way, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are.
You have a book you'd like to give away?
Well, actually, I have a paperback copy. This is the hardcover version, but I have a paperback. And so I can do both ebook, or if they're in the US, I can send out my paperback copy of Highlander's
Oh,
Dawn. I had to do a restock, and I'm gonna have to restock again because I do
okay.
the TikTok shop and I do some of these marketplaces. And I'm like, man, I gotta like I'll order 20 sets of books, and that's the hard part too. Is like when I do my fairy tale villains, like people aren't just buying a single book, they're buying a set of 4. So when I order my books, it's like, okay, I got to buy 20 of this book that has this series that has 7 books in it. I've got to buy 20 of this series that has 10 books in it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so many books. It's so much money. It's so much storage. So, but I do have one paperback, and it's with the beautiful new updated cover. I have a stunning cover designer. I'm very fortunate. I found him on Facebook of all things. And he pretty much is the guy who does all my covers now, just because he does such a good job and he nails it. So, but I can do also ebook copies. So if they're not in the US, I can get them an ebook copy of Highlander's Dawn.
Okay. So I'm not sure how many people are on here. We have Joanne, we have Michael. That's your husband,
That's
right?
my husband. Yeah, don't put him. I actually know Sean. Sean's a friend of mine too. I don't know if he's still watching, but Sean is
Okay.
one of my biggest cheerleaders. And then Tina was on here.
We have Tina. She would probably like a copy of your book, Tina.
Well, if I be the winner, I'll send her a copy. Is she in the US? Do you know?
Yes. She joins my Blind Date with the Book giveaways, and
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. Let me see here. I have this
Yeah, people
keychain.
might have watched too and just not commented.
Yeah. If you guys want some of the giveaways, make comments, because now's the time for us to know you're there. Okay, so I have this little black poof one.
Oh, cute. Cute.
And it's got
With the bookcase. Oh, I love that.
this one and this
Oh, someone
one.
says I'm here. Someone just said I'm here. Okay, Tina's still here. She's like, I'm here.
Would you like a copy of her Highland book? And then we could tell all your friends about it.
Maybe I'll take a picture of my cow and I'll make that a fun piece of art that can be added to. I put little postcards in there with my little Highland coo.
I'm gonna do it. Like, this is the Highland one. No, because I think if I did, she wouldn't have been able to talk back.
Yeah, true. I forgot about that.
Let's see. You said you had a friend named Sean?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He pops on here. He's always doing stuff like that to kind of like cheerlead and support me. He's an old friend of mine. I've known him for like, oh gosh, like 15 years now. It's always hard for my head to say that. I'm like, oh, I'm not 30 anymore. I don't know him from high school. Like, it's so hard getting old. I can't handle it.
Right. Well, I have some vampire teeth because I'm writing
Oh, that's super cool.
vampire book. Plus, there's a vampire in the first book I wrote.
I'm reading a vampire book right now.
Really?
It's kind of like a Harlem Renaissance, like during the Jazz Age.
Yeah.
And I'm liking it. I'm like, I love the Jazz Age and Harlem Renaissance. I'm a big Harlem Renaissance fan. So
Yeah.
I'm loving that whole vibe. I've never read like a historical Harlem Renaissance book before. This was my first Like I just stumbled upon it and I was like, oh, this is mine. This is mine. So it's super cool. So I love the vampire when people are doing cool things with vampires. I just love that.
In my first book, my vampires, there's nothing sexy or good about him.
Really? They're just a vampire.
He is a nasty thing. So, but I'm writing a vampire romance. It's a vampire fae
Okay.
enemy to lovers romance. But I got to get the young adult book done first, and that's the next one. So I have pieces of it written, but I'm gonna say I can send if I can get your address here in a little bit. I'm gonna send you a goodie bag of stuff.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Just because,
and then if you don't mind, if you throw me in some extra like of your swag, like just the inexpensive like bookmarks or anything like that, I'll throw them into my book boxes.
Sweet, I'll do that.
I do that. I tell my readers all the time, like especially if I'm going to an event, a bookish event, I'll tell my readers like, hey, let me know if you want, just give me your address. I will get a bunch of like the stickers and paper swag, and then I put it just into an envelope and I'll mail it out to them. And they're like, are you kidding me? You're going to get me some of the swag. I said, it's got to be the stuff I can put just in an envelope with a regular stamp. But I'll get like 10 or 20 people that are like, I want that. So my joke is if you can't come to the reader event, I'll bring it to you. And the authors love that because it's like 20 new people who weren't able to come to the event. And now they're able to share all their swag and maybe find some new readers, especially if there's like a QR code for like a little promo or a freebie or something like that. So, so yeah, if you want to throw in some extra goodies in there, I'll make sure they go into my book boxes.
Sweet. So then I guess I'll send some things, and if you want to give your friend Sean some stuff,
I will. I'll make sure he gets the little fun things.
That'd be cool. And I had so much fun getting to know you and painting this cow.
I had so much fun. I am really proud of my little cow. Like he looks just like a mess of fur is really, yours has like definition. Mine just looks like someone stuck a face in some fur. But
it's
they
cute.
are super cute.
That's awesome. Now, let me ask you just a couple more. Now, I have like character that became a thing. It's like the unsung hero character. It's an octopus in my first book. And it just came out of nowhere. So I've got some of these characters that are supporting characters that just have been so meaningful to me. So I would ask you, who is your favorite romantic hero or heroine that you've ever written?
Oh, my favorite hero or heroine that I've ever written. Oh my goodness, I'll have to think for a minute on that one. So, so for my historicals, right? We're going to focus on those. Okay, well, there's actually one, my husband and I, well, if I have to say, I won't lie, Highlighter's on, William is my favorite, but I think, because my husband helped me write him, I think he's modeled after my husband in a little bit, so I think that's why. But let's take that out of the count because that's, got a little bit of, personal insert there. I would probably have to say, one of my darker characters in my Blend Highland Romance series. That was my flagship series. And after, like, I've been applying for tenure at my college. I've been really trying to build my academic career, and I got turned down for tenure the third time in a row. They promoted some younger people. They were not promoting older people. And I noticed that. I'm like, oh, ageism, the writing's on the wall. I get it. I don't necessarily look like I'm middle-aged, but here we are, I am. And I was like, well, and I came home and I told my husband, because I had the first book in that series written and I had kind of published it through lulu.com for some family friends who wanted to read it, but I had done nothing with it. It wasn't even well edited. And so I told my husband, I said, I think I need to shift. And I think I want to start writing more. And are you okay with that? And he's like, yes. Because I told him, I said, if I'm going to whore myself out, I should do it for me. And, and he's like, yeah, you should. So that left into that series, but I needed to do something with it. I just had the one book. I didn't have an idea. I didn't have anything. I just had the one book. So then I was looking, it was like, you got to write series, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll take the villain. I'm big into villains. I love my villains. So I took the villain out of book 1, and that's how I wrote book 2. And then I took the villain out of book 2, and that's how I got book 3. And then I took one of the villains from technically book 2 again, and that became book. And I just kept grabbing those villains. I'm like, you are being plucked out, and you now get a book. So most of them are villains. The redemption arc is really hardcore in that series. But in the last book, It's not quite a character from a previous book. I did a little something different for the last book in that series. And I wrote about someone who was a friend. He was kind of like a compatriot of Robert the Bruce during the Scottish Highlander Wars of Independence in 1300. So 1306, 1307. And his name was James Douglas. And he was called Black James Douglas because he burned his whole own castle to the ground and like threw dead bodies in the well and salted the earth and just he decimated his own property just so this English king couldn't have it. And so that just kind of gives you, and I had a character who kind of played like his conscience a little bit, you know, he did kind of like, hey, if you're going to do something bad, maybe do it this way instead, right? But the character was just so like he had no qualms about who he had to be as a dark character. Like he's just like, this is just it. This is who I am. And either you take me or you leave me. And so I really liked kind of the honesty he had with himself, you know, especially in that time where, you know, you had things like religion and loyalties and all this stuff that was supposed to, you were supposed to do things a certain way. And he's like, no, this is just who I am. And so there was just like this raw sort of organicness to him and his diabolicalness. But he does end up being kind of a bit of our dark hero because he does do the right thing for the right reasons when the time comes. And I just really liked him.
So that
Just
was your
kind
favorite.
of the raw nature of him. Yeah, that's the Blackguard of the Glen. Pardon?
What was his name again?
His name was James Douglas, and in the book he's referred to as Black James or Black James Douglas, and because he had black hair, but there's a reference to his heart. And then so the title of the book is The Blackguard of the Glen, and that's the eighth book. And then it's really neat because at the end, like I bring a lot of pieces together. The cool thing is most of the books can be read standalone. Like I do try to make sure that Highlander's Dawn, Highlander's Dawn is one of the only ones where you kind of need to read it in this series. I mean, you don't have to, but it helps.
Yeah, that's the way it is with my series, but the third book kind of would make more sense if you read it the first two first.
It kind of helps. So how many series do you have out?
Right now I just have Harmony Interrupted because that was my first book, and then I've got 3 more books in the works and a couple on the back burner after that. But I'm trying to here, let me show you what I got, if that's okay. I've got a cookbook.
Please do.
It's Christmas time, guys, so we can buy,
there you go.
we could buy Highlander books for our bookish girls. I have 2.
Oh, super cool. I love the blind books.
See, I love doing this. I usually try to get some books from the indie authors when they come to the show signing. And then I dress it up like this, and I give 1 or 2 away a month.
Super cool.
And all I do is ask that they be 18 years older, live in the U.S. for shipping, and willing to like, follow, and leave reviews for the featured author. And
that's super cool.
So I missed my October one or my November one because we had
babies.
Yeah, that week. This is, I've got a little publishing guide for indie authors.
Oh, cute. Good call.
Because I've spent a lot of money and made a lot of baby author mistakes, and I'd like to be helpful. So
you know what? It's funny that you should mention that, and it's awesome that you have a book for that because I have someone that I kind of met through my daughter who is writing a book with my daughter. They worked at the library together. My daughter's like, well, you know, why don't you reach out to my mom? My mom's written lots of books, and she owns a publishing house, and she's published lots of books. And her friend was like, you want me just to reach out? So she texted me, or she sent me an email like, hey, your daughter said this was good. And so I gave her some recommendations, and I didn't hear from her for a while, and she sent me a message, and she's like, okay, so I have my book, it's edited. She goes, and so I was looking for like options, and I guess she reached out to one of those kind of like vain publisher types, and they were like, oh, we'll do this. And I was like, ooh, I said, let me give you a list of scammy publishers. Yeah. And like I told her
$1,000 or $10,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it.
I
So
want to say her amount that they were telling her to do, it was between 500 and 1,000. So I can't remember. So I don't know if it's just one of those companies that helps you publish, but I'm like, oh, if you're going to spend 500 to $1,000, we're going to allocate that money differently. And we're going to start with promos, advertisements, and newsletter signups. Like you are not going to, like you can upload the PDF file for free. Like no, we are not doing this.
throw in a couple of these and you can hand them out to people like that because it talks about the different publishers and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, this is my novella. Let me see if I can show you
Oh, I
my
like
book.
the cover.
This is Harmony Interrupted.
Oh, I love that.
That's the Dragoon Throne. That's book 1. This is
I
book
love the
2.
purple. Oh, super cool.
This is a Why Choose trope.
Yeah.
This is the one with the evil vampire and
Okay.
dragons. And then this one, it's a god. The gods creating a bunch of havoc, and they have portals that take you to different planets that are being affected by the antics of the gods. You know?
Okay, yeah.
And then my third book is in the editor's hand. I think she's proofreading it now and catching, because of my dyslexia, I
Yeah.
have to revise.
Yeah.
So I really need to.
My husband struggles with something similar. He fortunately is very good with audiobooks. That's how he reads, is with audiobooks. And so
Yeah.
he'll listen to his book several times and he can hear it when it's not right. And then stuff like, the spell check type of stuff, that helps him catch a lot of that.
Yeah. I have to go through a lot of different steps for my editing, but this is the third book.
Oh, I like that with the trident.
Yeah, she's the water dwelling kingdom. So we have the Dragoon Throne, the Lavarian Empire, and the water dwelling kingdom. And then we have Avenging Angels, which is just a spinoff.
Oh, I like that. That's the cover I like. I love that one.
This is the one that's a little more darker.
Yeah, you think? Hence the black on the cover, not the purple. Not
Yeah.
purple and gold.
Yeah, purple is my favorite color, so I was like, it's gotta have purple.
You know what? It's funny because green is mine, and it helps because so much like plaid and stuff is green. But I have to like focus on, okay, I can't have every book have a green cover. Like I have to, as much as I would like to, I'd like to have mushrooms on every book. I would like to have every book cover be green. Like that's been my goal. It's interesting though, because I kind of went the other way and I have a lot of book covers that are red. I have a lot of red in my book covers, and I think that's my way of trying to be like, okay, it's not green. There's a way to fix that.
Aw, well, I'm so excited to have spent the evening with you. Again,